thank you for the love. Thank you for the kindness. You know, Botox keeps you young. Fillers keeps you plump. Mwah. Look, don't let the haters get to you. Haters are going to hate. And if you have haters, that means you're doing something right, girl. So just keep going and let the haters hate, because they're always going to hate. Screw the haters. The haters are going to hate. Look, they can boot me out of Congress, but they can't take away my good humor or my larger-than-life personality, nor my good faith and the absolute pride I have for everything I've done. So this is about you, Megan. Be yourself unapologetically. Just love yourself. Just make sure that you don't buy into the hate and stand your ground, and don't let them force you out. Don't let them bully you. You do you, girl. I'm cheering for you. Mwah.
My baby boy, George Santos, is recently unemployed, and he's got a lot of free time on his hands. And with that free time, he decided he's going to join Cameo. So what you just saw was a cameo that George Santos made for Nebraska State Senator Megan Hunt. I guess some of her friends bought it for her as a joke. But she tweeted the video out along with the caption, "Gift of the year from my friend Rebecca," and then thanked George Santos for the cameo. After getting a little bit of pushback about giving money to George Santos, she tweeted this out. "To be clear, George Santos is a transphobic fool who has defrauded and harmed people, who says what he has to say to get attention and probably doesn't actually hold any personal moral convictions. And I also agree with the advice in the video." And apparently George Santos really didn't like being called a transphobe, despite the fact that he tweeted just last week that there's only 2 genders.
Hey, boys and girls, trust the science. 2 genders.
Which I feel like I don't have to explain why that's an extremely stupid thing to say, so I'm not going to. But anyway, this is what he responded to Megan Hunt's tweet. He said, "Transphobic? Girl." Sorry. "Girl, take several seats and try again. My best friend is a trans woman whom, like me, doesn't agree with child sex changes or chemical castration." He really did the "I can't be transphobic, I have a trans friend" defense. This motherfucker. But to this tweet, Megan replied, "Girl, just say thank you for the attention and the $75. I still have my job. Own that fraud." I say that phrase a lot, but in this case, George Santos literally is one. But at this point, I fear I have to be a little bit annoying. Now, everybody knows I love George Santos. I love that guy. I love the fact that he's a gay archetype. I love the fact that he's a liar in service of seemingly nothing. I love the fact that he claimed his mom died on 9/11, despite the fact that she died in 2016 and at the time of 9/11 was living in Brazil. I don't know if there was also a Brazilian 9/11 that I wasn't privy to, because I'm not in tune enough with Brazilian culture, but if there is, let me know. And let me know if she was there. But I gotta say, against all of my instincts, no, you should not be buying George Santos cameos. I mean, like, and listen, when I first saw that he was joining Cameo, immediately I was like, oh, I want one of these so bad. I want one of these real fucking bad. Please, someone buy me a George Santos cameo. And then I did a couple seconds of introspection and thought, no, of course we shouldn't be giving money to this fraud. Of course we shouldn't be giving money to this transphobe who supports the ongoing genocide in Palestine. No, of course we shouldn't be giving George Santos money. But I want to. I want a real bad. No. Okay. No. No. And if anyone watching was thinking about buying me one, please don't. I don't want it. I don't want it officially. I mean it. We should not be giving this guy money, okay? No money for George Santos. We gotta draw a line somewhere, okay? Like, I can jokingly say that I want George Santos to be the president of the United States. Of course, if he was on the ballot, I would be voting against him so hard. And I think a reasonable place to draw that line is transferring funds to George Santos in any way, shape, or form. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Be strong. Be strong for everyone else out there who's based in Santos Pilled. Now, as long as we're talking about George Santos, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the only person in Republican politics who might be a pettier gay than George Santos. And of course, I'm talking about Christian Walker. For those of you who don't remember, where the fuck were you during 2022? But he is the son of former Senate candidate Herschel Walker, who has shown a level of pettiness that is reserved specifically for the gay community in airing out grievances with and exposing Republican operatives and media personalities. He did a whole thing on Elijah Schaffer that was awesome. And he talked extensively about what a piece of his dad is, how he was an absent father and abusive. Now, I'm not trying to like hype up Christian Walker. He's a bad person too. He's a bad person. But sometimes he does funny shit. So we're going to talk about that now. He discussed in a video he posted some of the lies that George Santos told him when he was first running for Congress. And they are just as pointless and hilarious as a lot of his other lies.
So guys, you know crazy George Santos, the Republican who was just expelled from Congress? Well, I knew him. I met George back when I was in that world, don't remind me, and I met him at an event in Nashville, and I immediately took to him because he was hilarious. He kept making us all laugh, and he didn't drink or party, and I'm not a drinker or partier, and so I liked that about him, and so we started to get to know each other. He told me he was engaged and he was gonna invite me and a bunch of friends to his huge wedding at a castle in upstate New York. I had a New York trip and he wanted to take me to meet these people and go to dinner with a friend. So this is where it gets like crazy. He picks me up and he's like, Christian, last week I got robbed. And I'm like, George, what? You got robbed? He's like, I was leaving a meeting on Wall Street. Guys, this is all made up, by the way, everything. He goes, and all these men robbed me and took a $70,000 Hermes bag from me, and they almost beat me up. And I go, because I know Hermes, I'm like, oh, was it like a rare Birkin or something? Like a $70,000, was it like a crocodile Birkin? He was like, no, it was a special edition men's briefcase. And I'm thinking, I know Hermes. Why don't I know about these special edition men's briefcases? He told me he had just bought his fiance a new car. He had picked me up in a Mercedes and he was like, this is my city car and I have to catch a flight tomorrow, so I'll be staying at my city place tonight. We have a 7,000 square foot house on Long Island. 7,000 square feet is a big house, especially in New York. The last time I talked to him was on the phone. He said he had to go to Mar-a-Lago, Trump's house. And he was like, I'm going to get this award, or I'm going to this gala, and then I'm done with Trump. He's so done. He's so done. A week later, it comes out he lied about everything. He was using campaign funds for his personal expenses, Botox, OF, all this different stuff, his car, his everything.
Now, of course, you know, and Christian Walker says 7,000 square feet is a big house, especially for New York. It's a mansion. That's a mansion like anywhere. That is a massive freaking house that George Santos doesn't own. But the one thing that has stuck with me since I first saw this video was that George Santos lied about being robbed because, again, like so many of his other lies, why? Just why lie about that? Why lie about getting robbed? Like, you're not lying about getting robbed to, I don't know, make $70,000 back, do insurance fraud or something. You're just lying about it to a former NFL player's kid. Is that supposed to be impressive? Like, yeah, man, no big deal, but I got robbed, bro. I just don't get it. What is the lie for? And you know what? I think I've just, in saying that, diagnosed why I have this obsession with George Santos. He is an enigma to me. I can't figure him out. I don't know if he's like got a disease or something that makes him lie for no reason, or, you know, maybe he's just a massive piece of shit who loves to lie and steal people's money. I don't know. He's like a real life Always Sunny character, right? just like a bad trait in a person, and then you turn the dial all the way to max so that it's so absurd it's like not believable that that person would actually exist. Enter Anthony DeVolder, George Santos, whatever the his name is. But low-key though, that's my guy. Like I do love George Santos. But what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna support the Cameo, okay? Not gonna do it. We are not helping him finance his legal fees in his upcoming trials.